Yo, it's Lizu Shen. I'm sure you've seen me before. Critically acclaimed Lord of Gacha and lore. Recently, my favorite gacha Limbus Company hit top 14 on the Steam charts. As a diehard citizen of the Project Moon cult, it would be gross negligence if I didn't try to at least convert you once to giving the game a try. Hold on, this is not an ad spot. I'm not sponsored. I'm just brainwashed. That being said, many Project Moon fans will be up to your throats telling you to at least play through the first 2 games to know all the lore before playing Limbus Company. That's what they sound like. Yes, Project Moon is the creator for these 2 other bangers. But F that. The games are great and all, but do you really have 100 hours to burn so you can know the lore to play a little bit of gacha? How are you gonna do that and watch your favorite VTubers? How about this? I'll summarize the entire lore of all 3 games for you in just under 10 minutes here, and you go off and try the game for me, okay? Ahem. All 3 games, Lobotomy Corporation, Library of Arena, and Limbus Company take place in the same setting. They happen back-to-back in chronological release order. Before diving into each game, some information about the vast setting. The games are set in a place called the City, capital C, important. Kind of like Attack on Titan, where they try to make you believe there's no other civilization around. Oh, and people get eaten on a daily basis. There are millions upon millions of people living here, which makes this more like a country instead of a city. The city is broken down into 26 parts, each with their own laws, government, and culture, like the USA but slightly better. They're divided in a manner that I can only describe as badly cut pizza. Each one of these 26 segments is named after a letter of the alphabet. Why? Because each district contains a main city. No, not city, lowercase city. Important. These lowercase cities are called nests. And within each nest is a mega conglomerate business that specializes in something that starts with the letter they're named after. These companies are known as wings. Why are they called wings? Because each company, known as a wing, are ruled collectively over by the head, along with other things named after body parts. Put it all together and you get this biblically accurate angel thing, hence the 26 wings. These wings are very, very powerful. They deal in things that defy even the laws of physics. For instance, T-Corp deals in time. They can make time, they can stop time, and they can make things that stop time, and most importantly, they buy and sell in time. This means that after a long day of work at the factory, you hold out your pocket watch and your boss will pay you in minutes, seconds, and hours instead of money. It's like that one movie where Justin Timberlake is bald and rich, but instead of being rich, you're poor. Additionally, there is W-Corp. They deal in warps. Warp gates, warp technology, but not warp planes. They control the public transit in the city. You can pay a small fee to board a scary blue train that will teleport you across the city in seconds. They use strategic wormholes and stuff. You actually experience thousands of years pass by while riding the train due to time dilation. But don't worry, they Men in Black you at the end, so you don't remember any of it. With these 2 examples, I think you're starting to get the picture. Other honorable mentions for high-profile wings include but are not limited to N-Corp. They deal in nails. R-Corp. They deal in rabbits, rhinos, and reindeers. U-Corp, they deal in tuning forks, and K-Corp, they deal in cough syrup and other assorted syrups that can cure cancer and revive you from the dead. That being said, we're here for one wing in particular, L-Corp, aka Lobotomy Corporation, the namesake of the first game in the Project Moon universe. Contrary to popular belief, they don't actually deal in lobotomies, though after playing the game, you'll probably want 1 or 3 done on yourself. The game is about a guy who we'll call A. He's best friends with a guy who we'll call B, who is not his gay lover, but it's pretty close and pretty one-sided because A actually likes this girl who we'll call C. C is tired of everyone in the city being depressed by the horrific living situations, so she comes up with this great idea that will harvest the light from people's minds, and then once we have enough, distribute them to millions of people across the city all at once and cure depression. It's like SSRIs, but it actually works. Carmen, spoilers, C and A, and sometimes B, come together with a handful of other scientists and a legendary mercenary called a color fixer. Her name is the Red Mist, and she's not only hot, but also a bodyguard. Also, there's this demon bitch. She's evil. To enact their plan, they move out to the city's equivalent of the Nevada desert, so they can create this seed of light and cure depression. How are they gonna do this? Obviously, the best way is to start a capsule hotel, in where they store dangerous abnormal entities that range from your grandma with a gun, to guy from ASDF movie that summons trains, to... Actually, I can't see what's in there. There's nothing there. They capture these guys and hold them within L-Corp so they can secure, contain, and protect... Wait a minute. However, they forget what workplace safety is, so everyone starts dying, including Carmen Sandiego. Well, almost. She cuts across the stream instead of down the river too hard and ends up in a coma. But Ian, who's desperate to finish the job, realizes the chance of this succeeding is 1 in a million. But what if we could do this 1,000,000 times? And so he kills all his friends, stuffs them into unbreaking robot bodies. He's the Western version of a weeaboo, so he names everything after the Tree of Life. This comes back later. He turns Carmen's consciousness into a hot AI assistant girlfriend named Angela, and then erases his own memories. But not before starting a closed time loop so he can run the experiments a million times. And if unsuccessful, his AI girlfriend starts the loop up again, over and over until he wins. Congrats! At the end, you create the Seed of Light, starting the Whitest Nights and save everyone. That is what I would like to say, but after a million attempts, Angela is fed up with your ass, because you forced her to live a million lifetimes where she watches her friends die, like Haruhi's Endless 8 but worse. She grows a pair and backstabs her ass, stealing the light for herself and creating the darkest days. Fast forward a little while and we're now in the second game. Angela is still sad and still a robot, but she desperately wants to be a human. She does a lot of research and even starts her own library, the Library of Ruina, so she can research how to turn herself into a real-life girl. She builds the building in the middle of the city on the ruined site of the old L-Corp building that was bombed. The bombs were the reason they moved to the Nevada desert in the first place. Sorry, forgot to disclose that. She finds out that if she wants to become human, she needs the one book to rule them all. But how will she find it? By enticing people into the library and in true Yu-Gi-Oh fashion, challenge them to a duel to the death. If they win, they gain what they truly desire. If they lose, they're sent to the Shadow Realm. Actually, they get transformed into a book forever, so it's more like the Orichalcos arc. She realizes that just like in the first game, she'll need a color fixer to defend the place. And she probably wants this girl, who is known as the Black Silence. But she died to this weird piano man. So I guess we can settle for her less cool but just as strong husband, who is now also the Black Silence. It's like how there's 4 Robins in Batman, but if the Robins were all married. His name is Roland, and he just conveniently appeared in the library one day. Anyway, they spend time killing people and building up the library. Each time they finish building a floor, one of them gets Mad Depression. If you can beat the Mad Depression, you can get cool weapons and armor. During this time, some other dudes realize that Angela's been keeping all the light to herself, so they set out to break in and steal it, Ocean's 11 style. Spoiler alert, it never works. Rinse and repeat this process of kidnapping and killing people while learning about their sad backstories, until finally things come to a head, and it is revealed that Roland's true purpose all along was to kill Angela, because he found out that the evil piano man was Angela's fault, meaning his wife's death was Angela's fault as well. If you've beaten enough depression throughout the game, you can get the true ending, wherein they don't kiss but they do make up, and Angela realizes she's been a massive bitch this whole time. She pulls a Pain from Naruto and revives everyone from the dead, alongside releasing all the light that she's been keeping to herself. This starts a massive boss fight against Carmen, remember her? But in the end, you win and save Angela, but not before the head, remember them, says the library is too dangerous and wants to destroy it. But just like the real government, they skirt the issue and instead teleport the library to the Nevada desert. Yeah, from the first game. This brings us to our third and current game. Sometime in the future, you play as Dante from Dante's Inferno, not to be confused with Dante from DMC. For some reasons that you can't remember due to convenient amnesia, you turned your head into a clock for some organization called Limbus Company. It's a play on the words limbo and bus because you ride a bus and you're in limbo. Get used to it. The company has tasked you with driving around the city to where the remnants of L-Corp, yeah, we're still not done with L-Corp, thanks Angela, are located. The company realizes that you, like Ian and Angela before you, need your own color fixer, so they gift you this guy, Virgilius. His nickname is the Red Gaze, not because it's Pride Month, but because he has a red gaze that will kill you. Probably, I've never actually seen it happen. You, Virgilius, along with 12 depressed people you call sinners, which are conveniently based on characters from famous literary works, but hotter. Pause the screen if you need to read them all. Are tasked with finding and retrieving these branches of the Tree of Life, remember that? For some purpose. As of current, we still don't know why. And just like the other games, there's an evil shadow organization, but this time around, they're kind of like the Stellaron Hunters. And maybe they're just secretly on your side, but they kind of beat you up all the time, like an abusive older brother. Anyway, you bust from location to location, snatching up these branches for the company, all while sightseeing and dealing with depressed backstories of all your sinners, as each chapter summarizes the story arc of the books they're based on. Your bodyguards, sinners, will be dying a lot, but fear not. Your clock head's not just for show, and you can use it to turn back time on your sinners and revive them from the dead. Along the way, you'll meet hot grandpas, angsty scientists, and hags. A lot of hags. Did I mention that this sinner, Autis, is actually the poster girl for hags, and is a big reason why hags are so popular right now? Yeah, you're welcome. And that's all you need to know. Time for you to play the game. You forgot I was a shameless shill, didn't you? It's completely free on PC or phone, and will run for the next 8 years at least, because we're still not even halfway through the first act of 3. Have fun.